Okay, my name is Richard Besinger. I'm the former National Organizing Director for the AFL-CIO in Washington, D.C. And currently I'm serving as a campaign coordinator for the Nissan campaign, where we're helping 5,000 auto workers in the poorest state in the United States, the state of Mississippi, organize their own and form their own local union. We've been, for the past several years, we've had a very close sister-to-sister, union-to-union relationship with the Brazilian metal workers unions, with the Brazilian auto workers, and they have come from Brazil to visit and investigate conditions and meet with hundreds of Nissan workers, and which is really inspirational. They would leave their home country of Brazil and come here, and not here, but come to Mississippi, and show so much support for us. The unions in Brazil went to Nissan Renault dealerships and protested with hundreds of people outside the dealerships with big signs of Calvin's name on those signs. And Calvin got his, as a result of that, Calvin got his job back. Chip Wells was almost fired by Nissan, but he was rescued by the Brazilian unions. We phone called to Brazil. We said, here's what they're doing to Chip. Chip is a union leader at Nissan, a courageous one. And the Brazilian unions once again went to the auto dealerships across Brazil and did such an inspirational job, a wonderful job of showing true global solidarity. I'm here in Besinger for a couple of days to hopefully return the favor, where we in the United States are hopefully giving some of our experiences and sharing what works and doesn't work on a different issue, which is what we call internal organizing, which is unions have from 1% membership to 99 or 100% membership in Brazil. And same in the United States. We have very low membership, where very few people are in the union, and we have very high membership. Almost everybody's in the union. And so I've studied that in the United States. I run focus groups. I've written about this. I just wrote a book about it. It just came out a couple of weeks ago. We call internal organizing, and it's a discussion of the servicing model of unions, where all we do is provide services for our members, versus the organizing model, which is more dynamic. It really involves the participation of really many more members in the servicing model, and is really part of a dynamic, high-functioning, successful local union. So I've been sharing some case studies, listening to Brazilians tell me their dilemmas, why they have a certain percentage, say 30%, they want to go to 70 or 80% membership, and how would they do that if it was in the United States. And then I've been learning about the dynamic here so I can better advise the unions here in Besinger and really wherever there are all the workers that would like our help on how to have a higher union, a more participatory union, and a very effective union. I've learned a tremendous amount by the last 2 days just interviewing the various union representatives and activists here from the different metal workers unions, the different cities, and they give me a lot of good ideas for how to take some of that back to the United States, and again, hopefully we can learn a lot from Brazil. I think in the U.S. generally, we have a better economy in the United States today, a better economy, but we don't have a better country. Brazil has better values. The spirit in this country with the Brazilian people of caring for one another, of collective action, and it's a contagious spirit, and it's something that we as nations and people need to think about more. We shouldn't measure success only in the terms of wealth and extravagance and who has more big cars, but we should measure success also in terms of what type of values a country exhibits. And I think in that score, the United States has a lot to learn from Brazil. I know I do.
Okay.
We have been so inspired in Mississippi by the support that the Brazilian labor movement has been giving us in all sorts of ways. I mentioned earlier that the Brazilian unions have gone to Nissan and Renault dealerships to help the Nissan workers and really save their jobs, prevent workers from being fired. The latest solidarity action is Brazilian unions decided that it was hypocritical for Nissan to be a sponsor of the Olympics, talk about human rights and social responsibility and goodwill, and then on the other hand violate human rights and be socially irresponsible in Mississippi. It's as if they think they can do one thing in one country and another thing in another country and no one will notice. But our Brazilian brothers and sisters thankfully have noticed, and they're now protesting alongside the Olympic torch. And I've been looking at this on social media. It's fantastic to watch. And they've been simply saying to Nissan, it's good you're an Olympic sponsor. You know, Nissan makes a great automobile, great cars, but you have very bad global labor relations policy in the United States. And you got to decide which way it is, Nissan. And I think they're posing an interesting question, Nissan. You can't be both a human rights violator and then come to the Olympics and say you support human rights. There's an Olympic code of conduct that I know the society really wanted all vendors to subscribe to and to support. Well, Nissan supports the Olympic code of conduct in words, but not in action. And we need to be judged not only by our words, but more importantly by our actions. So again, I'm so thankful, and I know the Mississippi workers are so thankful as well, that someone cares about them enough to go out and protest, not against the Olympics, and really asking Nissan to listen to their better angels, to listen to their better voices. There are many great managers and leaders in Nissan. We need to hear from those people to step in and solve the situation in Mississippi, and then I don't think the Brazilian unions would be protesting. But this is an action really not of our making. It's really an action the Brazilian unions felt they wanted to do on principle. When I was asking them when they were planning this, why are you doing this? They say because it angers the Brazilian unions. One gentleman I was talking to, a union leader, was saying he was angry about the fact that Nissan is getting away with this hypocrisy and at the Olympics, again, saying one thing here and doing another thing elsewhere.